Hello?
Hey,
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How about you? Thanks for letting me do this.
No problem. And you are, who are you? You are Vic Raman here on the Giantbomb
Yes.
tournament. Very cool. All right. Well, welcome. And welcome back, guys. I'm Mostacular, and I'm joined by now Vic Raman, who is going to cast this game with me here. Looks like we are ready. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm good. I'm a little bummed 'cause I got knocked out by another Protoss, but
Ah, well, we will enjoy ourselves here with looks like a Zerg versus Random on Zelnaga Caverns. It's going to be between
Ooh.
uh, YO Orange and Shib. We did see Shib just a little while ago do some proxy hatchery shenanigans against
Yeah.
Han. So
That
we'll
was
have to see what
insane.
happens. Yeah, did you were able to catch that game? That looked pretty. That was pretty wild.
Yeah, that was before my the game I lost to a gold Protoss, but anyway, besides that.
Good look at Batman from Orange spawning as the red Terran in the upper right position. Down in the bottom left is Shiv, the purple Zerg player. So tell us a little about yourself there, Ramen. What race do you play?
I am a Zerg for the Swarm.
Awesome, very good. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's tough, but you gotta live with it.
Yeah, it's fun. I wouldn't trade it. Definitely very hard though. I suspect that if I played one of the other races, I might have a better time with it or an easier time with it sometimes. But got to stick with it. And once you settle on a race, it always feels fun to be loyal to them and play the
Yeah,
best you can. And it
it's
looks.
weird. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was just commenting that the random player did end up getting a Terran, so
Yeah.
we'll just see if there's going to be some kind of proxy hatch play from Orange. Orange telling his opponent that he got Protoss, obviously a lie, trying to deceive. And we're going to see an early scout from Shib so he can figure out exactly what race he's going against. Although perhaps he's just going to try that proxy hatch play against whoever he goes against.
Yeah, like, I was wondering. I was like, because I was saying, what's one of the things about playing random players? You have to send out that early scout to see what they're doing, or else you're just kind of caught in the dark.
Yeah, it's to the point now where I'm comfortable enough with my play that when I see a random player, I feel better because the chances are that they're just not as strong with any one race, which can happen, of course, if you're players like TLO. But often, when I play against a random player, I just notice the builds just aren't standard, and they just play very strange with the race they are, and I just feel very comfortable against them once I scout them. But that initial nervousness of the first few minutes is just wondering, what race is this guy, and do I have to worry about, if he got Zerg and threw a six pull down, you need to be able to catch up with that right away against a random
Indeed.
opponent.
It looks like we have a fast expand from Shib here, so it looks like we're going to see some econ play. Hopefully, a macro game that'd be interesting against this.
Yeah, I do agree there. That fast hatchery, very well done, able to get it down before even the SCV even got near him. So no chance of blocking that, and then a spawning pool as well. I like that play. Definitely how I open up my Terran play as well. Just pretty standard there. And let me tweak my sound for just a moment. My Starcraft is there. We go.
Yeah, I had to mute the stream. Hearing my echo is weird.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's always definitely something you gotta cut back. So far so good for both players. Barracks is up. Marines coming out now. No add-ons yet for that Barracks, which is a little interesting. As far as we haven't seen a tech lab go down yet. Although with the recent research upgrade length of Stimpack, you might want to get that tech lab down as soon as you can to get working on that.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing with Protoss is as much as it sucks to see Kadir and Emily go away. It's one of those things where Protoss players have to know when to put down that the Temple archives and that shrine and research that stuff much earlier so they can have that just as quick.
Very true, and actually a large transfer going down now. The natural has finished for Shib, so he's up and mining. And look at this, a one barracks fast expand coming from Orange, so he's throwing down a command center of his own. So yes, you were right in calling for a macro game here, and I'm excited to see that ZBT is a fun matchup and reactor
Yeah,
going down to the
absolutely.
barracks now.
Yeah, I was just going to say there's that reactor going down. It looks like another barracks going down as well. We might see. Actually, I'm not sure. With him being a random player, I can't really suspect any build order. But
That's a good point. Got to remember that though, guys. Orange playing random here, so that's pretty bold for a tournament play as well. To feel confident enough to come in playing random, or maybe he's just having a fun time with it. Either way,
yeah, I mean it's interesting to see.
yeah, the one barracks expand is pretty standard play from a Terran, especially once you see the Zerg expand like that. So I'm not too surprised. Second queen up for Shib now, so he's got two queens. Needs to keep up with the injects, and looks like he's doing that. Yeah, very crisp timing on those injects. That queen got 26 energy and spewed immediately. Now a factory going down for the Terran player as he pushes down with a few Marines. Hopefully trying to find that Zergling. Yeah, he's going to meet that Zergling halfway and take it out before
Ooh.
it's able to get up and scout. So he did lose an SCV. but was able to take the Zergling out, deny scouting, and that's going to be critical because the Zergling, if it was able to peek up that ramp, it would actually catch at least that second barracks and maybe even see that factory, depending on the range.
Yeah, we could see some possible Hellion play, and against a fast expand, that's actually really, really powerful. But he is throwing down Spine Crawler just to be safe. So, I mean, it's actually a lot of Spine Crawlers.
Yeah, 2 Spine Crawlers and a Baneling Nest. I'm not sure exactly, in a third in natural. So let's take a look at the vision. Nothing right now shows us that Orange or Shibby has any reason to be worried, but he's throwing down a lot of Spine Crawlers and a Baneling Nest, so he must be worried about some kind of interesting play here. And you're absolutely right, though, again, Ramen, about the Hellion harassment. If he got maybe 7 or 8 Hellions with Blue Flame, that'd be just devastating. And that's one of the few things that will just absolutely crush me in a ZBT is that kind of play, because it just so completely ruins your Zerglings and Banelings.
Oh, looks like Shib's going to lose this Overlord. Oh, that could spell trouble for him. Looks like he's supply blocked for a bit. Is he building another? He is. He's getting a few more Overlords up, so he'll be safe for now. That could have ended really badly for him.
Yeah, that was actually a smart move there. He had that Overlord there, and it was good that he had it there, but a very quick response by Orange to push out and take it out, because he was trying to scout with that Overlord. Very good timing on that scout. They're on 35 supplies, a good time to do that, but he was not able, looking at the vision, not able to see the factory with the tech lab, where Siege Tech is now being researched, or any of these additional barracks, so Zerg player denied scouting, although back at the Zerg base, I am happy to see that Shib is wailing away on the rocks, the destructible rocks, so he's going to be taking a really, really quick third, which is good to see, as always. Once you know your Terran opponent is expanding, you want to go ahead and work towards a third base so you can kind of stay one base up. And looks like Orange does have control of the Zelnaga Tower here on the left. Would like to see with this many Zerglings, there's no reason not to have control of the Zelnaga Tower as a Zerg. Because Zerglings are so inexpensive. I mean, one Zergling is 25 minerals, essentially. You can just send that one out, take control of those towers, and to just have them at all times. And right now, the Zerg player really does not have a lot of vision, whereas the Terran player is kind of getting a nice little spread as he's taking control of his natural and bringing siege tanks down the ramp.
Yeah, we have, it looks like Ship is trying to spread out his Overlords. He's got one over here in the left, just kind of floating in space. Let's see, he's put down a supply depot so he can't go down that hallway in the top right, or top left, rather. So it looks like he's pretty well defended, no matter what. He's got that siege tanks up now. Terran is, ready for anything, pretty much.
Absolutely. Good job by the Overlord positioning, as you mentioned, from Shiv there. He's got one off to the right of his natural. He'll be able to see any Hellions that might try to drive by, although we don't see any Hellions in production, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. More siege tanks coming out. That stim pack is being researched slowly but surely. Overlord speed just finished. More Zerglings. Actually, melee attacks coming up now, so it looks like Zergling's going to favor heavily into the play here. With a Spire going down, it looks like we're seeing a pretty standard ZBT from the Zerg player, with the Zergling, Baneling, Mutalisk play.
Coming. I will have to say, though, he did get his Overlord speed, so he might be going for a Doom Drop, but with these spawning, it might be pretty difficult. And with all these siege tanks, it looks like Banelings are going to be the best choice. I don't know if Zerg knows that he is going mech, or such heavy mech, so I don't know about this. I don't know, he might be going for the Baneling drop, or just use those Overlords to scout more, but it looks like we'll have to look and see.
Yeah, and as we were talking about a minute ago without the map control, but now look at the vision of Shib. He is taking control of the Zelnaga Towers. He's spread Overlords all across the map to the different expansions, taking a third base of his own. So now all of a sudden Shib, with his excellent creep spread as well, has excellent control of this map. And now as an Overlord floating over the base of the Terran player is seeing everything, seeing all the structures. He sees the starport with the reactor going down, and just getting a great vision of everything. So Shib all of a sudden rocketing forward, in control of this game, in my opinion, with his control of the map and taking a third base.
Yeah, and it's I don't think we caught that, but he is getting 5 mutas out. So those mutas are going to do well against those siege tanks if he controls them out. Terran player doesn't have too many Marines to cover those siege tanks, so I mean, he looks like he is getting more, so we might see those mutas used well or completely fail. So it looks like we're going to have to see.
Absolutely, and again, the Muta is excellent for harassment as well, but the Terran player wise to this. He's got one missile turret up in the mineral line, both his bases right now. That's not necessarily enough, but with just 5 Mutalisks, it should be enough to deal with it. And now Shib destroying the rocks of the gold base, so he's preparing to double expand here. His third almost finished, and the Terran player is showing no signs of even taking a third base right now. So that could get out of hand if the Zerg player continues spreading creep like this and continues to expand. Although, with good micro, those Marines and siege tanks can just lay waste. So we'll have to see as this Marine force is pushing down.
And one thing I do like that Shib is doing, he's putting one Zergling on the third, at least the natural third of Terran. And if he were to get Burrow, and he burrows that Zergling there, it just makes it so annoying for Terran because they have to use a scan to get that Zergling out of there so it can expand.
I'd love to see that. And look, these Marines coming down now. They ran into the third base here, and there's 3 Spine Callers and a bunch of Zerglings, so the Terran player has been tipped off to that third base, and he's going to need to find a way to get back into this game as he's falling behind on the supply count as well as the base count. But yeah, I agree with you completely, Ramen, that the Burrow would be so fun. It's not an upgrade you get a lot of times against Terrans because the scan is so easy to throw down that oftentimes we'll just burrow and then they'll scan and you're screwed. But in that case, it's so wonderful to have a burrowed Zergling and have a command center just kind of flying over top of it, and the Terran player is just kind of frustrated.
Looks like we're going to see some Muta harass. I'm pretty sure you're just going to say that too.
Go for it.
I was going to say with the thing is though with these if he has to throw that scan, that's one less mule, and because he's so far behind on bases, that can be game changing.
Yeah, that's true too. So yeah, every scan is one less mule on the field, and now Burrow is being researched, and it's not going to finish in time. Looks like the Terran player is moving down to his third, destroying those rocks. So maybe unless you might have a chance. Burrow almost finished.
Yeah,
so he might get a chance this year.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe, hopefully he's not listening to the stream. So.
I doubt that highly. And it looks this though, getting a drop for the Overlords as well. So he could be seeing perhaps to excellent play would be to put the Banelings into those Overlords, because then you can just drop those Overlords right on top of the tanks on the Marines. I mean, Banelings don't do that fantastic against tanks, but against Marines they do very, very well.
Yeah, it looks like. Let's see. Terran has thrown down a few missile turrets, so he is wary of those doom drops. But yeah, it looks like Burrow is finished, so we should be seeing that Zergling burrow into that third pretty soon here. If not, he might just almost forgot about it. But yeah, it looks like Muta harass on the Terran base here.
Yeah, taking down one missile turret, a reactor. Terran moving down the map now, but he's going to stop at the Zelnaga Tower here. He needs to figure out what to do with these mutas that are in his base, because they're slowly picking away at his add-ons, and he needs to find some way to deal with those mutas. His entire force is kind of stranded in the middle of the map right now. Siege tanks moving up onto the creep, getting into position.
Looks like he's just going all in here. It doesn't look like he's going to even try to save his base. The mutas have gone away, though. They might try. Yeah, there you go. That's what I thought. Pick off some siege tanks.
Excellent snipe on the siege tank, and actually the Terran player now supply blocked. Close supply, 120 to 127, as you can see at the top there, but Terran is supply blocked, and those Marines need to be careful. Look at this, the Zerg player swarming around to the left. He's going to flank around back, perhaps, use the mutas to kind of bait things forward. Now the tank's exposed. Here comes all the Lings. Stim goes down. Banelings in position. They got speed.
Oh my! Wow! That has to hurt for Terran. It doesn't look. He did get rid of He did rebuild the Tech Lab's attachments to his structures, and as far as harvesters, it's 46 SCVs to 49 drones. So Zerg not that far ahead in economy. Just with those extra bases, he does have that extra larva, and
Yeah, not as many, not mining at that gold. The third base, not really that well saturated, actually not saturated at all, just getting gas out of it right now. And that's allowed him to get infestors and the hive as well. So the Zerg player really teched up pretty heavily, but +2 upgrades for his Zerglings as well. He pumped out 40 Zerglings as soon as he lost that army. And the army count shows 108 to 85 in favor of the Zerg, and now an Ultra Cavern going down as well. And I think the Zerg player actually needs to make more drones. He's got 50, but with 4 bases up, he could be closer to 60 or 70 drones at this point.
He should be, it might just be one of those things where he wants a bigger army, and he's so far ahead that he can just get those drones whenever he wants, but it's still one of those things where you want to remax as fast as you can, because if you're going to use Banelings, that's just almost half your army gone in a second.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and he did a good job there. Those excellent pinch move there when he swarmed around and used those Banelings on that Marine force. Almost every Marine just melted there, and the tanks got surrounded by the Zerglings. So nice kind of pincer play there. And now
looks like
Doom drop. Not a Doom drop necessarily, but a little drop.
Yeah, it did do quite a bit. It took out, let's see.
If you do Control R, we can see the workers killed tab here. So 10 workers have been killed by the Zerg player, so it didn't kill all that many. I don't think it was worth the investment of all of those Banelings just to kill 10 workers, and it cost him 2 Overlords as well.
Yeah, 16 supply for 10 workers, and I don't know, not as cost efficient as he might have liked.
But then again, it did put him ahead. I mean, killing workers is a huge thing to do. And now 57 drones to 44 SCVs, although there are 5 mules. And now at third base, he never did burrow that Zergling at that third base, so that command center is actually going to be able to land